Hello traders, this is Dan Gibby, co-founder of Master Trader, and we're going to do something different in this week's weekly trade review where we typically review one or a few trades and we discuss a unique concept or multiple Master Trader concepts to give you ongoing education as we do and with our top-down technical approach to the markets. And I read Barron's every weekend, I read articles of interest, and then I get trade ideas from it also. So what we're going to do this week is the cover of Barron's, this weekend edition here. It had their top picks from their semi-annual Barron's Roundtable, who they identify as the pros. And I'm like, all right, I don't care about fundamentals, but fundamentals are what I say, it's a positive filter. I have no problem with that. But we put everything through our technical filter using Master Trader strategies before we open a trade, whether we buy it or short it. Every time you see me look at a chart, you're going to hear me talk about these different concepts because these concepts make up our technical approach to trading. Everything is price, candlestick analysis, and then I take that picture and I see where it is in the context of the overall trend, up, down, or sideways, multiple time frame analysis, is it on support or resistance, volume is a secondary, plus what are the broader markets doing, the sector is showing relative strength or weakness, are we at a turning point for swing trading or longer term trading. We put all that together, and that's what we teach you in our swing trading course. So this is the cover article, July 18th, Barron's, What to Buy Right Now. 42 picks from our pros. Panelists are split on where the economy and markets are headed, but agree that this year's sell-off has plenty of bargains. And so I just took a little snippet here. This is everything we're going to go through. Minimize this screen now, and we're just going to go ahead and plow through these. I'm going to give you a technical approach. Now, at Master Trader, you see we keep our charts very clean. We have color-coded candlesticks, color-coded volume. This is the daily chart. I have the blue is 20, green 50, red 200. I got my smaller weekly chart here and a smaller monthly chart since this is a concept of multiple time frames. I'll talk about the concept of price void, etc. And I'm going to tell you which one of these we agree with the pattern of it. So let's begin. Actually, this is spiders here. I wanted to start just kind of with a bias here. So yeah, the markets have been in a bear market here since the beginning of this year, 2022. We're down 20-30%, and we're still in downtrends on daily, weekly, monthly. But last week's action here, making a new low, snapping right back, the 20 MA on the daily curling up, kind of a sloppy stabilization on the weekly. Could this be the start of a bottoming process, whether it's in the broader markets or regardless of whether it is in the broader markets? And if we make another leg down on the monthly, which is our desire, we would love to get this 330 to 350 because that would be in alignment here with much, this overlapping area would be our hopeful final destination for a turn. And so anyway, we're finding beautiful patterns on individual stocks. So this will put a little bit in perspective as we go through these picks. Todd Alston, first one, VRSK. Big bottoming pattern, big inverse head and shoulders here. Left shoulder, 100% retracement, right shoulder, and you have a price void. The problem is on the daily, it's up 3 bars at resistance, but it's worth putting on your watch list to see now what it does at resistance to see if we can get a continuation pattern, and it has a price void. So that one belongs on the watch list. You can see the price void on the weekly. Still on a monthly chart, so it's not what we call a core trade, which is a holding pattern of weeks to months where all 3 of these time frames are in alignment. Instead, this is just a swing trade with a big bounce. Even if it gets up here to 186, 190, that would be a fantastic swing trade. MMC, garbage. It's trading range here, broke down. I got support here. I got more resistance overhead than I have support. The weekly's a total mess. So I have no interest in that. Next one, ICE. ice. Bottoming pattern, potential bottoming pattern here on the daily, stabilize on the weekly. So this one's, it's in my watch list too. This could be a home run entry, and Todd Alston will nail it. After falling from 137 down to almost 90, it's a bottoming pattern. I like it. The 20 MA's flattened out. And at Master Trader, we trade anything that moves, but we're technically based, and we also trade options, and we buy options for directional trade when the options are liquid, and we also sell options and credit spreads at bullish and bearish turning points. So this is a fantastic candidate over Friday's high to sell an out-of-the-money put spread under last week's low, because I think that's a beautiful short-term bottom. And then we go to the option table, we see how many days to expiration, make sure the spreads are tight, see how much premium we can get, check earnings, and etc. We have a whole checklist that we go through. Rupal Bansali, a UK stock, which I don't have data for. I'm only looking at US stocks here. So the next one is BAP, downtrend, daily, weekly. I guess just zero interest. I mean, and it's not just when I'm saying, I'm giving you my current assessment here, and we can't watch everything. So some of these, I'm telling you, they're making them to my watch list. I set an alert, and then I reassess it at the time whether I want to put on a trade. Some of these are, I just have no interest. I have zero interest in following and even having to set an alarm, because you can't watch too much stuff. Our technical analysis there is nothing. What the heck is this? BBSEY. But anyway, bottoming pattern. These are two wide range bars that had a closing breakout. And it has a price void. The problem is it's up too far. So there's no good entry on that. Baidu. Big mess. It's in a trading range. At least it's above the 50 MA here. It's a mess. It could be a candidate for a put spread under this wide range bar, but I just think we can find so many better trades. Abby Joseph Cohen, she's, wow, I've been following her ever since I started trading in the 90s. She has a Korean stock, a Japanese stock, which I'm not going to look at. Booking, downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly, absolutely no interest. JWN, relative weakness. It made a new low and is stabilizing, so it might build a bottom here. You know, one of our concepts is relative strength or weakness. Here's XRT. XRT is actually showing more relative strength than JWN. So I don't have any interest in JWN, but XRT actually is on my watch list. Next analyst, William Priest, TMUS. It's in an uptrend, it's in a trading range. This is a concept called 100% retracement of this down move, which shows strength. And then after 100% retracement, we look to see what the counter retracement levels are. We don't use fibs, we don't use oscillators, we just eyeball it. So the retracement after this 100% is about a third, which is positive. So this had an ugly red bar that stabilized. It came down here and retested it right at the 20 MA, and it's back up. So this is a great candidate for I'm going to write this down, great candidate for a put spread under last week's low. For directional trade, let me look at my weekly here. Possible, but it's at the top of the range. But if it can go sideways at the top of the range and break out, I could see it going to 145. You can watch that, but I'm more interested in a put spread. Deutsche Telekom, it's a German exchange here, so I don't have that. TSM, it's in a downtrend. It broke out. It could be the start of a longer term bottoming process, but it just doesn't make it to my interest list. Liberty Sirius XM, well, in here, Deer. It's potential new high, but look at the angle of the declining 20 and 50. That's in a power downtrend, and so this along with the industrials, Cummins Engine, Caterpillar, etc. They've been a victim of the recession that went slowing economy. So maybe it's going to be the start of something. So you can put it on your watch list, and then it for starters, it might turn out to be a put spread, LSXMA, potential bottoming pattern. You can set an alarm at Friday's high. Henry Ellenbogen, 3 trades into it, big fat trading range. It's kind of what we call a symmetrical triangle here. So you notice how the highs are getting lower and the lows are getting higher. And when these converging MAs like this in between prices, that suggests an expansion of volatility. And if the markets are going to keep going up, then this, you got a lot of resistance up here. So I'm not interested in a directional, but possible put spread into it's been around for a while. Team, it's relative weakness to the broader markets in a trading range. It did break out and got slammed. So that's having trouble, relative weakness, at least now in the short term. And that's all I'm looking for is swing trading. If I see what I call a core trading setup, I'll mention it, but then you'll hear me mentioning the weekly and monthly charts also. And this is a great example, actually, Duolingo. I've been watching this one for a while, and we actually gave this to our subscribers, and this is a fantastic example of selling out of the money expensive puts. It's in our weekend advisory swing and options trader where we give our subscribers stock and option trade ideas. We're going to sell the $65 puts for August. I think I got to go check the math on it, but I think it's like $1.50 a share. And so for this to go from $99 to $65 to break all these major pivots of support, that would be quite devastating. So here, though, it got my interest also. This is a beautiful inverse head and shoulders with 2 heads on the weekly chart. So if it's able to get above this, this green bar, it had a bearish retracement last week, then it opens the door for maybe 140. And so that's a great example of multiple time frame alignment. All right, so that's it with Henry. Scott Black has 2 ideas. Khaki, trading range, no interest to me. Although look at all 3 converging moving averages, and we never trade a pattern saying, oh look, it's on the moving averages or moving average crossovers. We use moving averages just as visual aids to speed up the analysis. But these 3 converging here, I now have rising 20, 50, and 200. So it's telling me, and the moving averages are doing their job, telling me these short, intermediate, and longer term trends. And so it could be worth watching, and also a put spread under last week's low. And Scott had Chubb, Charlie Bravo, no interest whatsoever, relative weakness, bearish gap. Look at this, it started with this breakout failure, gap, 20 and 50 rolling over, weak retracement, another gap down, rally and reversal at resistance, another gap down. It's just zero interest for us. Mario Gabelli, CNHI, he's been around a while. Downtrend, daily, weekly, monthly. So as of right now, zero interest. AJRD, trading range, but in a downtrend, sloppy overlapping bars. We like controlled patterns, controlled candlestick analysis. This is a perfect example of a mess. And HRI, just compare the 2. See how clean these bars are relative to that last one? So this I like. This is it's a bottoming pattern, but bottoming patterns we teach clues. A sign doesn't come out and just say, oh, I'm bottoming now. Everybody get on board. And same with tops, obviously. So this started with a climactic buy setup. Moved up, retest, moved up, retest, major support. But this is what's grabbing my attention. These 2 bars had bearish gap downs that closed back at the day's high. Then Friday, a gap breakout, even though it closed under the open, which is not as good. It's the start of a bottoming pattern, and it closed above the 20. So that I'm going to put on my list, both for, a long over Friday's high, but also I got to go through my checklist here. But see, the low of these bars is roughly $86. I will go to the option table and go through my checklist, see if the options are liquid, see how much I can get paid for whatever days to expiration for shorting the 86 and lower, either naked puts or put spread. Para, nice gap closing breakout. The problem is it's right here at the 200. You got all these overlapping bars, so I'm not sure what the target would be, but another great candidate for a put spread. Para, potential bottoming pattern, but still relative weakness. The weekly chart is a bearish consolidation. It can't bounce much, and although we're only in the middle of July, the month isn't over, that is a bearish 1, 2, 3 continuation pattern on the monthly. So as of now, I have no interest in Para, SBGI, Sinclair Broadcast, just no interest. I mean, fundamental people may say, hey, the value's good, so they start getting in, but we're technical traders. DRQ, downtrend, no interest. Halliburton, downtrend, no interest. And these are oil services stocks, so look at OIH. Yes, it's down a lot. I get it. From the year, we're down. It's creamed. We watch the major ETFs every day. In fact, I have 6 screens here during the day, and I watch 32 ETFs, sector ETFs throughout the day, obviously in addition to the 4 index ETFs on multiple time frames. So it might bottom over the next few weeks, but as of today, there's no pattern, no interest. It looks horrible. Merrill Whitmer, SLVM, potential bottoming pattern. I would just set, when it's down a lot, I'd just set an alarm at Friday's high and look at it then. DFIN broke out. Not sure what the target would be with this, but this is kind of a bull, rectangle consolidation above the 20 and 50 with a closing breakout. EEFT, you can see visual aid. Look at the power of this downtrend. It's no interest as of now. David Grox, FTV, potential bottoming pattern, but it's still. Now, see, I didn't even need to look at the weekly because I can see this big, nasty momentum move down. It could only bounce 25%, and it's in a trading range. One positive for the bullish case is it made a new low. Now, this is a daily chart, right? So at the low of the day, this had a bearish gap and a bearish red bar, looking like the floor was going to fall out, and it closed with a bottoming tail in green and then gapped up. So it could be the start of a bottoming pattern, but me personally, I watch too much stuff already, and it's not good enough to make it to my watch list. I have too many other good things. NXPI, semis had a nice little bounce last week. Now, not in the list, but we're watching AMAT, LRCX. There's a couple semis here that at least for next week we do think they have some nice bounce potential. Next for David, General Electric, down a lot, another nasty downtrend, no interest for now. And finally TEL, potential bottoming pattern, higher low here. Just not sure about the profit with all this breakdown area, but could be a put spread candidate, the 110 or lower. That is it, folks. So these are all the people we just covered again. Covered all this, and this one I said we're going to skip fixed income here just because the charts just are not good, so it's not our style. Come check us out, folks. You saw me review all those, gave you some ideas for actionable ideas this week and others to watch for potential nice little bottoms. Come visit us. My partner Greg Capper and I, he's the best market technician I've met in my life. Watch us analyze the market, scan, trade, answer questions in real time. Spend $7 and spend a week with us in our green trading room. If you'd like to learn our technical approach to trading anything that moves, go to mastertrader.com/education. And whether you're new to trading or interested in technical analysis, options, mini courses, this will answer your questions. As always, email Greg or me with any questions. Good trading, and see you in the next trade review video.